My dad bought me long-sleeve shirts for 3 years and never wondered why I refused to take them off. It started the summer I turned 14. We were at the mall and Dad steered me toward a clothing store I'd never been to before. He pulled out his wallet and told me to pick out whatever I wanted, which was unusual because money was tight after Mom left. I grabbed some tank tops and shorts because it was June and already hitting 90 degrees most days, but Dad shook his head and pointed to the long-sleeved section. Something practical, he said. Something that covers your arms properly. I thought it was weird, but I didn't argue. I picked out 3 long-sleeved shirts and he bought all of them without checking the price tags. Over the next 3 years, this became a pattern. Every few months, Dad would take me shopping and buy me more long-sleeved shirts, different colors, different styles, but always long sleeves. He never explained why, and I never asked. By sophomore year, my entire wardrobe was long sleeves. I wore them to school when everyone else was in t-shirts. I wore them to gym class and got weird looks from other girls in the locker room. I wore them to bed even though I'd wake up sweating through the fabric. My best friend Marissa asked me about it once during lunch. Why do you always wear long sleeves, even in summer? Before I could answer, Dad appeared out of nowhere. He'd never come to my school during lunch before. He put his hand on my shoulder and smiled at Marissa. She has sensitive skin, he explained. Sun allergies, very serious condition. Marissa seemed to accept this and change the subject, but I noticed Dad stayed in the parking lot for another 20 minutes, just sitting in his truck watching the cafeteria windows. The strange part wasn't just the shirts. It was how Dad acted whenever I got close to taking them off. During PE, when we had swimming units, Dad would write excuse notes claiming I had an ear infection. When relatives visited and the house got hot, Dad would turn the AC down to 65 degrees so I'd have a reason to stay covered. At my cousin's wedding last summer, the venue was outdoors and it was 95 degrees. I started rolling up my sleeves at the reception because I was literally dizzy from the heat. Dad grabbed my wrist so hard it hurt and pulled the fabric back down. "Keep them covered," he whispered. "Please." His voice sounded desperate and scared. I'd never heard my dad sound scared before. My Aunt Rachel noticed the interaction and later pulled me aside in the bathroom. She asked if everything was okay at home, if Dad was hurting me. I told her everything was fine because I honestly didn't know what else to say. But she kept staring at my arms like she was trying to see through the fabric. That night after the wedding, I heard Dad on the phone with someone. His voice was low, but I could make out some of what he said. "She doesn't know yet. I'm trying to keep it that way as long as possible. No, she hasn't seen them. I'm being careful." I pressed my ear against his bedroom door trying to hear more, but he went quiet suddenly like he knew I was there. The next morning at breakfast, Dad seemed nervous. He kept glancing at my arms even though they were covered like always. He asked if I'd been feeling okay lately. If I'd noticed anything different about myself, I said no, which was mostly true, but that was a lie. I had noticed something. For the past few months, my arms had been tingling at night, not painfully, just this strange buzzing sensation under my skin that would keep me awake. And sometimes in the mirror, when I got out of the shower, I'd catch glimpses of something on my forearms, shadows or marks that would disappear when I looked directly at them. I'd convinced myself I was imagining things. That stress from school was making me see stuff that wasn't there. But after that wedding, after hearing Dad's phone call, I started wondering if maybe I wasn't imagining it after all. Last Tuesday, I stayed home sick from school. Dad had to go to work and couldn't take the day off. Before he left, he checked 3 times that I was wearing long sleeves even though I was just going to be alone in the house. After he left, I stood in the bathroom for 10 minutes staring at my covered arms. My heart was pounding so hard I could hear it. Slowly, I rolled up my right sleeve to my elbow, and that's when I saw what my dad had been hiding for 3 years. The rest of the story is on my channel or linked below.